In my little garden, after every passing storm, there's always something that makes me pause for a long time. It's not the missing shingles on the roof nor the broken branches on the ground. It's the image of the old oak tree, still standing, silently, steadfast, as if it never knew what fear was. I'm Richard. I've lived here for over 40 years, and from the very first day I moved in, that oak tree was already there. It's not just a tree, it's a witness. A quiet companion, a mirror reflecting an entire life. And over time, I've come to realize my life is a lot like that tree, forged through storms. The first storm in my life wasn't wind or rain, it was the collapse of youthful dreams. The day Jane told me she was pregnant, I cried from joy. But not even a week later, the factory where I worked shut down. Everything we had planned vanished like smoke. I still remember the look in Jane's eyes. It wasn't anger, it was faith. And that faith, it kept me from giving up. I did whatever work I could find, lifting boxes, washing dishes, driving nights, anything to bring home a hot meal. And every night I studied. Exhausted, yes, but never ready to quit. Just like the oak tree, after every strong wind, its roots didn't weaken, they grew deeper into the earth. Eventually, I found a new job, not because I was lucky, but because of the countless long nights no one ever saw. That first storm taught me this. Sometimes hardship lays the strongest foundation for us to rise again. When life finally seemed to calm, the second storm hit. Jane was diagnosed with cancer. Our home, once filled with laughter, became filled with machines, quiet sobs, and the scent of antiseptic. I, the man who once thought of himself as strong, suddenly felt smaller than ever. But in those endless sleepless nights, I learned something else. Pain doesn't erase love. Every time our children asked, "Where's Mom?" I'd hold their hands, force a smile, even when my heart felt like it was tearing apart. That year, the oak tree lost a large branch to the storm, but it didn't fall. It healed, and so did I. I learned to live with the ache, to carry the memory, not let it drown me. Jane passed on, but her love, like deep roots buried within me, still holds me up. Now at 72, I face another storm, quieter but persistent. Loneliness. Old friends are gone, one by one. My children have their own lives. I feel out of place in a world that's racing ahead, full of smartphones, fast news, and unfamiliar voices. There were days I wanted to retreat, to shut all the doors, but then I looked at the oak tree again. Every year it still sheds its leaves, still blossoms, still reaches for the sun. And I asked myself, if a tree can keep living, why can't I? So I stepped outside, joined a book club, learned how to use the internet, learned how to text my granddaughter, and I felt myself come alive again. Not as the young man I once was, but as someone still capable of living fully. Perhaps the oak tree isn't unyielding because it's strong, but because it never stopped growing. Now each morning after the rain, I sit by the window, sipping my tea, watching that old oak tree. It's not perfect, it has broken limbs, deep scars, but it's still beautiful, still standing. A powerful reminder that storms don't make us weaker, they make us deeper. Life isn't measured by how many storms we avoid, but by how we face them. No matter where you are or how old you are, never stop learning, never stop connecting, never stop reaching out, because deep inside each of us, there's an oak tree still growing. Have you ever been through a storm in your life? What did it teach you? I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. And if this story touched your heart, please hit like, subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and share it with someone who might need to hear it today. Because maybe they need an oak tree in their life too.